Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2020 United States Ryder Cup Captain's Picks News Conference here at Whistling Straits, site of the 43rd Ryder Cup. At the head table is 2020 U.S. Ryder Cup captain Steve Stricker. On August 29, 6 players qualified for a spot on this team based on a point system, as you can see on the television monitor here. Today, Captain Stricker will name 6 additional players that will join those automatic qualifiers to complete his 12-member team. So, Captain, the floor is yours. Please let us know and the world who you've selected as your newest team members.
Good morning. Thanks, Julius. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, this is it's been a long time coming, but super excited for this day and super excited for this team that we've put together so far with the 6 picks of, the 6 automatic qualifiers of Patrick, Bryson, Dustin, Brooks, Colin, and Justin. Super excited about those top 6 and let's not wait any longer and let's get straight to the captain's picks. And after consulting with not only those top 6 players, but with my vice captains and our analytic team scouts, my captain picks are Daniel Berger, Harris English, Tony Fenow, Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, and Jordan Spieth. Yeah, we are super excited about these 6 individuals. As I look at them there on the screen, talked to each and every one of them a couple days ago, and they are extremely excited and happy and fired up to be a part of this team. All a great fit for Whistling Straits, and they all told me they can't wait to get here and to do one thing, and that's to bring the cup back where it belongs. So super excited to have these guys, and they're here to join us today.
Captain, thank you very much. What jumps off the screen here is that you selected 4 Ryder Cup rookies in Xander, Harris, Daniel, and Scotty. And you already had 2 rookies that qualified in Colin and Patrick. The last time a U.S. team had 6 rookies was in 2008, which turned out pretty good for the U.S. team at Valhalla Golf Club. And you probably remember a little bit about that because you were a rookie on that victorious team. You also know more than anybody else that Europe has won 9 of the last 12 matches. So how much did trying to identify veterans versus rookies play a part in your decision-making process?
We're looking for the best players to perform here at Whistling Straits, and these 6 guys that we picked, we feel like fit Whistling Straits to a T. We've done some analysis of those rookies since 2008, and U.S. rookies are a 40, 29, and 17 record in Ryder Cup. So rookies fare very well in this type of format, and we're excited to have these rookies. Some of them aren't really rookies. They've played in past President's Cup teams. Some of these guys have match play competition under their belt as well, and other events that they played, the World Match Play. So we're excited. So we don't really feel like they're rookies. We're just happy to have these guys, and they fit the course to a T.
Beautiful. Let's break this down a little bit more and learn why you selected each player that you did. And let's begin with Daniel Berger, a player you know well because he secured the winning point for you under your captaincy at Liberty National. What impresses you so much about him that you've come back to him again?
With Daniel, we know what we're getting. A great competitor, a gutsy competitor, no weaknesses really in his game, very consistent. He played well this year, especially in the last couple of majors. He's played very well. Just a gutsy, classy guy and with a never give up attitude. So we're excited and excited to have him be a part of this team for sure.
Very good. Well, congratulations, Daniel, and welcome to the United States Ryder Cup team. Can you tell us what is it about Captain Stricker and his style that you appreciate so much?
Well, I think he's a great leader from the experience that I've had the President's Cup at Liberty National, and he makes it about the players, which I think is very important in the team environment. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be alongside him and represent the United States of America and look to put some points on the board for Team USA.
Beautiful. Daniel, thanks very much. Don't go too far, please. Captain, you also selected Harris English.
Yeah, Harris English. It's really, I think, been a breakout year for Harry, and he's got 2 wins this year, 11th in the world. So he brings a lot of energy, a lot of power, great putter. As we saw some great putting throughout the year from him this year. And really, you know, he's a rookie, but he's been around a long time. He's an older guy, you know. I mean, he's been around the block a few times, and we're truly excited to have him. Another great guy in the team room, and we're looking forward to having him be a part of this team for sure.
Thank you, Captain, and congratulations, Harris. Like Captain Stricker said, it's difficult to call you a rookie when you're the second oldest on the team at 32, only behind Dustin Johnson, right, who's 37. When did making the Ryder Cup team hit your radar? Because you played some really, really good golf this summer. And how do you think your calm, cool demeanor will fit in a Ryder Cup environment?
Yeah, I just want to say how excited I am to make this team. It's been a goal of mine since I first turned pro, and to be able to play for Captain Stricker is going to be an unbelievable experience. But I didn't know that being 32 was considered old these days. But like Strick said, this is my 10th year on tour, and I've been around this game a lot and dealt with some adversity that everybody's going to deal with in this game. And I think that's big for match play, because obviously you're going to be down in a couple matches and you got to climb back, you got to grind it out. And I feel like I'm really good about that. And I feel like I get along with everybody on the team, and I can play with anybody. And looking forward to the challenge of Whistling Straits, and looking forward to putting some points on the board for the U.S.
Thanks very much, Harris. Next up, Captain, Tony Fenow.
Yeah, Tony just won a few weeks ago, and it was good to see him get back in the winner's circle. Tremendous athlete, very, very long off the tee, which again, we believe will fit Whistling Straits to a tee. He finished 7th in our Ryder Cup points, so it shows you the consistency that he had throughout this long process of trying to gain these points with an extra year involved. So we're excited. He's a tremendous guy, tremendous athlete. Has got so much talent. I don't even know if he knows how much talent he has. I mean, everybody watches him hit the ball, and we're all amazed at how far and how straight he hits it. So excited to have Tony part of this team.
Very good. Well, T, congratulations and welcome to your second Ryder Cup team. You know, you were a captain's pick also in 2018, where you played well as a rookie in Paris. Now you get to play at a home Ryder Cup. What lessons can you take away from Paris that will help you here at Whistling Straits, you think?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, first of all, I'm honored to join this team and join my captains and my fellow teammates. It's quite an honor to represent the USA, the red, white, and blue. So I'm looking forward to Whistling Straits. I think some of the experiences I can draw back on are just, some of the wins I had in Paris, that I had put on the board, and kind of draw from those experiences to help bring the cup back to the U.S. So it's fun being part of these teams, and it's awesome for me to make my second team, and again, just join these great group of guys. I didn't know 32 was old, Harry. I'm going to turn 32 next week, so I guess I'm going to be right there with you as one of the older guys on the team. But to join these young guys and in this group and our captains, I'm extremely excited and honored to be a part of this team. And we're gonna go over. It's great to be home, and we're going to get there and get the job done and bring the cup back. So I'm excited to be part of the squad.
Thanks very much, Tony. Captain, up next, Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, our first U.S. gold medalist to be part of the U.S. Ryder Cup team. What can you say about Xander is that he's so solid across the board, a great competitor. Again, long off the tee. He pairs very well with others. He's just another example of this young movement in our sport, and plays well in huge events. And he's no rookie. He's a Ryder Cup rookie, but he's played in a President's Cup and pairs, like I said, pairs well with others. And extremely excited to have Xander part of this team.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Xander. You clearly understand team event pressure, having performed well as a rookie in Melbourne in 2019. What are your expectations now to play in front of tens of thousands of spectators, the vast majority of which will be pulling for you and Team USA?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I just first off want to thank Strick and all the captains for, picking me and believing in me to be on this team. And I'm excited to run with all these boys, a lot of familiar faces. 32 is not old. I'm really happy that, 32 is on the older side for our team. I think it's a good time for a younger influx of players, and really excited to run with these guys. And I'll be drawn. I don't have much experience in a lot of team formats. I do pair well with others, and I'll be pulling from certain experiences from Melbourne to sort of get in the flow of things. So I think the fans will be really excited. They haven't a year for the Ryder. I think they're going to be really excited to come out and support us when the time's right.
Very good. Thank you very much, Xander. Next up, Captain Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler is a true rookie. Has not played in a President's Cup or a Ryder Cup, but he showed us what he's able to do at the World Match Play this year by taking down Poulter and Rahm and Jason Day. So that caught our attention early on. Another guy who's long off the tee. His stats across the board are very solid from top to bottom. And the guy makes a lot of birdies, which should do us very well going around Whistling Straits. So, Scotty, welcome to the team. Happy to have you, and glad you can be a part of this.
Yes, Scotty, thank you very much for being here. Can you tell us what it was like to get the call from Captain Stricker, and not only to make this team, but to have your name listed among a talented U.S. roster like this?
Yeah, I mean, to get the call from Strick was amazing. The last month and a half has been pretty stressful, just not really knowing where I stand and trying to play good golf with this team hanging over my head. It's been a dream of mine since I knew about the Ryder Cup to play on this team, and I'm extremely honored to be a part of it. And I know the players and the vice captains, there's a lot of people involved in the process. And so to have the backing of the players as well is fantastic. And it gives me a lot of confidence going into the week. And I'm really excited to just get out there and start playing with the guys and take the cup back, hopefully.
Well done, Scotty. And finally, Captain, the sixth pick, the 12th player to finalize your team is Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, when you think about American golf and young American golf, I mean, it starts with Jordan Spieth, and a huge fan base of golf is due to Jordan, and we're excited to see him playing well again, and excited to see his game trending in the right direction. He was runner-up here in 2015 at the PGA Championship. This year was a kind of a resurgence year for him this year. So we're happy to see him playing well. Obviously this goes without being said. He's just a great putter, and which is always key in Ryder Cups. And we partnered together. I know what he brings to the table. He's a good guy, and we're extremely happy to have him.
Very good. Congratulations, Jordan, and welcome to your fourth consecutive Ryder Cup team, the longest stretch of any of the Americans. you're suddenly looked at as a staple on this team. And as Captain Stricker reminded us, you played well here in the most recent major championship at Whistling Straits. So what do you like about this golf course, and how do you think it'll shape up as a match play venue?
Well, first off, it's a beautiful golf course on the lake. Should be a great setting in the fall as well. I'm really excited to see the differences that it presents from playing in August. Well, I guess it's only a month later, but you have to shape the ball both ways, off the tee and into greens. So it requires kind of a lot of different shot making abilities. You're likely going to have some wind, so you got to flight it. And then, you also got to kind of be able to launch the ball high and soft into the green. So it really tests every facet of the game. I think I really enjoyed playing it back in 2015. I thought it was just an awesome golf course. And obviously knowing the Ryder Cup was going there, 5 years later at the time, I thought that was going to be a huge goal to get back there and relive some good memories. And if it were last year, I may not have made the team. So in a weird way, I feel kind of fortunate that, this goal was set at the beginning of this year for me. And it was kind of a lofty one. I had to make up a lot of ground after not having a lot of points the last couple of years. And, just very, very happy that Coach Strick, Captain Strick, has put his trust in me. And, I love the Ryder Cup. It's there's really nothing like it in our sport.
Very good. Thank you very much, Jordan, and all picks. Let's go ahead and go to questions now. If you do have a question, please raise your virtual hand in the chat box, or if you're with us here on site at Whistling Straits, please raise your hand and we'll get you a wireless microphone. We'll leave Whistling Straits first and go to Jeff Babano. Jeff, do you have a question, please?
I do. For Steve, being part of that winning side in 2008 that had 6 rookies, what was the dynamic of having fresh blood that worked so well?
I think what these young guys bring is that, everybody's getting younger in this sport. It seems like they're playing better at a younger age. They get some match play competition under their belts, at the amateur level. But they bring in an excitement level that's unmatched, I think. And they're eager. They're willing to learn. They just want to have that opportunity, and they'll do anything for that opportunity. So I see that much in these 6 guys here as well, that they're just eager to get in there and play, and they're excited to be a part of this. And I'm not saying that veterans aren't, but they just come here with eyes wide open and put me in, coach kind of attitude. So it's refreshing. It's great to see. And like I said, the record for rookies since 2008, and even before that, we went in deeper than that, is very good.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Doug Ferguson, you're up next. Please unmute yourself.
Am I unmuted? This thing's weird. Is that good?
Well done, Mr. Ferguson. You're on.
Thank you. Congratulations. Hey,
or so we thought.
Is he over in Hawaii somewhere?
that was a cheap shot. If you could hear me, Strick, what consideration did you give to Patrick Reed, just given his circumstances? And secondly, I have no idea what the status is Koepka in the tree route, but do you have an alternate ready to go in case he's hurt? And is that something you talk about today?
Patrick Reed, that was a very, very difficult call. Kind of lost sleep over that one, just trying to, he's a tremendous competitor. He brings a lot to match play golf. His record here at the Ryder Cup is pretty darn good. So it was a very difficult call. It wasn't an easy one. But I think it was just the uncertainty really of his health, and really the lack of play that led to our decision down the stretch. And as far as Brooks goes, yeah, we've talked about if we have to replace Brooks, but we're not there yet. We're focused on these 12 guys and moving forward with these 12 guys right now, and we'll deal with that situation if it were to happen. But as of now, we're moving forward with these 12 guys.
Very good. Thank you, Doug. Up next, Shane Ryan.
Hi, Steve. Hopefully you can hear this okay. I think a lot of people thought that the top four were locked in and that the last two picks would be the uncertain ones. When you were considering those two picks, what was the biggest factor? I maybe thought from your comments it was course fit, but I wanted to see what you had to say there.
Yeah, definitely course fit. And the way these guys have been playing, all six of these guys have been playing some really good golf and for a long period of time. And I didn't want to just leave it up to the last couple of events to make our determination on who is going to be the pick. So it's more about a body of work. It was a long period of time. We probably put a little bit more emphasis on this last year. But yeah, all these guys played great throughout this year and very well deserving of these picks for sure.
Thank you, Shane. Rex Hoggard up next. Rex, go ahead.
Hopefully this works, and I'm not in Hawaii either, Strick. This is for Xander specifically. Do you feel like a rookie? I mean, regardless of your age?
I mean, by definition, yes, it's a new environment. It's something I haven't done, which is compete in a Ryder Cup. Do I mentally feel like one? No. I've been playing for quite some time, and it's a dream to play in a Ryder Cup. And I think whatever rookie feelings I have will quickly go away with all my fellow teammates pushing me along.
Thank you, Rex. Art Strickland, hello.
Yeah, Strick, can you hear me?
Yes.
No.
Hey, Art, I think you broke up. Can you ask that question again, please?
Sure. This question is for Scotty Scheffler. Scotty, were you surprised when you got the call from Strick? Did you think this was a possibility? And also, have you talked to Jordan about this since you've got picked? I know you guys are living close and are close. Have you talked to Jordan any about this pick and what to expect when you get to Whispering Straits?
I didn't really know if I was going to get the call beginning of this week. We were just kind of sitting around waiting to see what would happen. Obviously felt like if I was picked to be on the team, I could do a lot to help the team, but I didn't really expect anything. If I wasn't put on this team, I would understand why. But I'm just really looking forward to the next couple of weeks. I've talked to a few of the guys so far, and everybody's really excited to get up there and get a few practice rounds in and just get a good feel for the course and just get ready for the tournament in 2 weeks.
Have you talked to Jordan any since you got the pick?
No, we talked briefly the last couple of weeks, and then we just set up some travel this week. That's about it. Just I think everyone's kind of taking a little mental break after the grind of the season, and you got to be mentally ready for the next 2 weeks. So I think we're all just kind of checking out for the first few days, and then start practicing here in a couple of days.
Thanks.
Thanks, Art. Up next, Jason Sobel. Go ahead.
Thanks, Julius. Steve, I wanted to know, how many final candidates did you have? Essentially, how many phone calls, both on the positive side, these 6 players here, and how many other phone calls did you have to make last night?
Yeah, good question. I don't know if I counted them up. I called a lot of guys. I felt like they deserve hearing it from me. It's throughout this whole process, I was keeping in touch with 20 to 25 guys throughout this whole deal. I probably called another 5 or 6 guys, I think, just to touch base with them, to let them know where we stood. And those, some were easier than others. Again, some of them were pretty difficult, and the difficult part is I feel like I'm friends with a lot of these guys, and to tell them that they're not part of something that, that they are dreaming to be a part of is pretty difficult. So, but all in all, it went pretty good, I thought. And, I left the 6 of these guys for the end so I could end on a high note. And that part was very special.
Thanks, Jason. Next, Mike Crowley. Mike, go ahead.
Hi, Steve. Just wanted to ask you a question about Whistling Straits and the difficulty that that course will present your team and the European team. Thank you.
Yeah, Whistling Straits is a tremendous test, a beautiful piece of property. It's just one of those iconic places here in our state, thanks to Herb and his family. And it's just, it started right here for Wisconsin golf, to be quite honest. I mean, when Herb built these courses along with Black Wolf Run courses, it kind of put Wisconsin golf on the map, and other people and other courses have followed behind. But we owe a lot to Herb and his family for being able to have a Ryder Cup here in Wisconsin. Really a dream thing for Wisconsinites and people that are involved here. So thanks, Herb, and to your family. But it's just it's going to be a great match play course, I think. I'm hoping for some good weather. We could have a little bit of anything the end of September. We have a beautiful day today, but you can get some big winds here or breezes off Lake Michigan, and it's going to be a challenge for all the guys, and there's birdies to be made out there, but there's also danger that lurks around every corner. So I think it's going to be a tremendous place to have this event.
Thank you, Mike. Bob Herrig up next. Hello, Bob.
Hey, thanks, Julius. Steve, I got 2 for you, please. First, I understand you're having some guys come up there this weekend. Can you talk about how many and how important that is? And then secondly, completely different, is there any kind of stipulations in case there's a COVID issue? I mean, obviously, I know that you can replace a player up to the first day, but given the unique circumstances, is there being anything discussed along those lines so that you wouldn't have to use the envelope on Sunday?
We're going to have a practice round here coming up here shortly. And from what I understand, all the players and all the caddies will be here. I don't know if that's ever happened in any other previous Ryder Cup where we've been all able to assemble at the venue before it actually takes place. So my message from day one has been to try to out-prepare the other team, the European team. And for me, it's been that way throughout my career, is just trying to prepare the best as I can when I go into an event. So my message is to let's I'll prepare these guys. Let's get in as much practice as we can here. Maybe take a little bit of the stress of Ryder Cup week off our plates by, getting our work done now earlier than Ryder Cup week, and get some rest that week. But let's out prepare them, and so all the guys are coming. I'm excited to see them all. We'll go out, have a good time, get to learn the course a little bit, work on some pairings during that time. And from what I understand, they're all looking forward to it. So although they're all laughing now, so maybe they're not looking forward to it, but it should be fun.
And just on the COVID stuff, is there anything different related to that? Thank you.
I think that's been a kind of an ongoing process is, creating this bubble, creating our team zone. There's going to be some extra names in the envelope. But we're just, the 12 guys are the 12 guys at this point, and we're going to try to remain and be as safe as possible leading up to the Ryder Cup and throughout that week, so we don't have to replace anybody. That's our goal. But there's some things I'm sure the PGA will go over with you guys when it's appropriate. But as of right now, it's full steam ahead with these 12 guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Bob. Adam Schupak, good morning.
Steve, question for you. Of those phone calls that you made to the players that didn't make it, did you tell anyone that they're the 13th guy, that they'll be the guy that'll come if someone has COVID or Koepka can't play?
No, we haven't gone that far. And, we've talked amongst ourselves, amongst my assistant captains and myself, and, we have some options out there if it gets to that, but that's only if it gets to that, I guess.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. We're going to temporarily leave the virtual world and take some questions on site here at Whistling Straits, beginning with Gary D'Amato right here on microphone number 2, please.
Hey, Steve, given Kevin Na's recent form, he's played really well over the last 2 months, and he was lobbying a little bit to be a pick. What was that call like, and how strongly do you consider Kevin?
Yeah, that another tough call because I know how passionate he is about wanting to be on this team. And again, that was not easy. And there's really, the underlying thing is, he's a gutsy guy. He's a great competitor. Like I said, he finished 19th on our Ryder Cup point list. And, even though he played well down the stretch, there were some things, length off the tee, I think was a big deal for us. But it's who's to say, right? I mean, he could have been a really good part of this team and a positive team member, but there's other guys that played better than him for a longer period of time. And we kind of looked at it more as, like I said earlier, a body of work, and instead of just the last tournament or two, and really kind of leaned on guys who really fit the course, I think, more so than anything. And the 6 guys that I picked feel like really fit the course to a T.
Thanks very much, Gary. Another question on mic number 2, please.
Steve, I like the rare bravado that you started the press conference with, saying we're going to bring the cup back where it belongs, the rare public bravado, I should say. When you enter Whistling Straits, is that when you really consciously think about the name on your hat and representing your state, that rare opportunity that you get as a captain?
No, I mean, I've been thinking about it, since I've received this opportunity, and it's a huge honor. I'm very humbled by this honor. And obviously when you come here and you stroll in and you start to see all the signage and all the things that have gone on and taken place for this event to happen in a few weeks, you think a little bit more and a little bit deeper. But yeah, this has been a huge treat, even though it's been an extra year. I could have done without the extra year, but it's been a good ride. It's gotten a little bumpier of late, probably because of the whole COVID and trying to make sure we're all staying safe and doing the right things there. But it's a special thing for me and my family.
We're still at Whistling Straits on mic number 2, please.
Steve, you talked a little bit about course fit, kind of in multiple answers so far, but when you assess these guys, do you take into account the time of year you're playing at Whistling Straits and the special challenges it comes to playing mid-fall here at this course?
No doubt about it. Yeah, we looked into, with the help from our analytical team, better wind players. Like I said, it can be breezy here as we have that today. So we look at a bunch of different things. How they pair well with others is another huge component. How they are in the team room. I think is another huge component. I want to make sure that we're going to get along and be together and have that camaraderie as good as any year I've been a part of these teams. So all that put together, but ultimately how these guys fit the course, I think is the biggest determining factor.
Mike, number 2 again.
Steve, Wisconsin sports fans as well as anyone. You had them embrace you in 2015 here, 2017 at Erin Hills. What would be your message to those rookies that are on the call right now, the 6 total on the team, about what that first tee experience is going to be like in front of these Wisconsin fans?
Yeah, well, there's no first tee experience like the Ryder Cup. It is an unbelievable experience. They show up early. They're loud. They're boisterous. They're full of passion and energy. So you have to be prepared for that as a rookie. We've even gone to the extreme, and it's really not an extreme, but I guess having our guys go out there a little bit early just to see that first tee before they get there to hit their shot. It can be overwhelming and daunting, but I think these guys, they'll embrace it. They've been put in difficult situations before. They're all trained to handle these types of situations. So they'll enjoy it. They'll relish it. And that's what you got to learn to do, is just enjoy that atmosphere. And there's nothing better than Wisconsin sports fans. They come out in full force, but I also understand there's tickets from all 50 states. Am I right in saying that? So we got a huge representation across our country, which is also very cool to see.
We're still at Whistling Straits. Mike, number 2, please.
Steve, you mentioned the extra year. You've had the title of team captain for 31 months now. What have the last 31 months meant to you, knowing that you've had to deal with some unique challenges with COVID? And what is it like knowing that you're almost towards the finish line here?
Yeah, it's, you go through all the different emotions from the day that you were announced to all the way up to today. And, there's been a lot of calls. There's been a lot of work, but it's all worth it. In the end, it's all going to be worth it. And we're only a couple weeks away. So the end is in sight, and not that I want it to be over, but I'm looking for that first tee ball on Friday morning, and can't wait for that to be here. And I'm sure these guys can't wait for that to be here too. And, Wisconsin's ready. I'm ready. And my guys are ready.
Very good. Mike, number 2, please.
How you doing? Darius Joshua, CBS 58 in Milwaukee right here. Got a similar question to that. Over this last year, it really kind of speaks to the team's consistency, that these guys all stayed up in the point rankings and all that. So what does that say to you, to have a team of guys, all of them in the top 14, those Ryder points heading into this? And what is a unique tournament?
Yeah, I think what's really neat to see about that is that they've all played great golf through all of this for an extended period of time. And that's what made these choices, in my eyes, pretty easy, and after consulting with the 6 guys that made the team and my assistant captains, we landed on these 6 guys pretty easily, just because of their form, the way they fit Whistling Straits, their demeanors on the golf course and in the team room. I've experienced that with a couple of these guys. And so it just seemed like a natural, perfect fit for these 6 to join the rest of them. And I know they're extremely excited to be a part of it.
We'll take one more question at Whistling Straits, and then we'll go back to our virtual calls. Gary.
And Steve, Padraig Harrington said a while ago that he didn't think there were too many things you could do to this course to tip it in your guys' favor. We know you're not going to tip your hand, but do you disagree with that? And if so, why?
Yeah, there's some things that we can, do and that we have done to hopefully tip it in our favor. And yeah, I'm not going to tell you what we did, but, hopefully, and I'm sure they know what they are too. I mean, we know what we're going to get into when we go over and play on their soil, and they know what they're going to get when they come here to play at the US. And, for me, the weather is going to play a role. I'm always, I hate the wind. My guys love the wind though. We've got some great wind players but I want some nice weather. I mean, I think we don't want to go around here in any Irish kind of weather. Let me just put it that way. We want some nice Wisconsin fall weather and 70 degrees and have people come out and enjoy the day and enjoy the event.
Leaving Whistling Straits, and we'll go back out virtually and say hello to Mr. Steve DeMiglio. Good morning.
Straits, I'm just curious, how long did you talk with the 6 guys that had made the team about the 6 you selected, and how deep did that get?
It was an ongoing conversation, Steve, all the time. I mean, as the closer we got to the picks, obviously it ramped up even more, but I was in their guys' kitchens quite a bit to see who they felt like would round out this team. Ultimately, it's my decision. But, I want to make sure those guys are out there playing with each other all the time. They understand their games, who would make good pairings. Pairings was a key determination in who we picked as well. So it was an ongoing conversation with everybody. And it still is ongoing now with, trying to pair these guys with the right people we see fit. And we'll consult with them some more to see who they feel like would bring out their best golf. But it's ongoing all the time, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Next up, Alan Bastable. Hello, Alan.
Thanks, Julius. Hey, Steve, circling back to Reed, just curious, given what this event has meant to him in recent years, could you maybe talk about your discussion specifically with Patrick and how he received the news that he would not be on this team?
What was the question?
Go ahead, Alan. You want to ask that question again?
Sure. You hear me okay?
Yes, we can now.
Okay. Apologies. Steve, I was curious about circling back to Patrick Reed. Could you maybe describe how the conversation went with him when you broke the news that Patrick would not be on this team?
Yeah, like I said, it was a very hard conversation. I called him first thing. He was my first call. I knew, that it was going to be hard, but he took it like a true champion. And I apologized many times to him and just wanted to make sure that he knew, that it was a very difficult decision, and he handled it, like I said, like a champion, and really took it well. Very disappointed, as you can imagine, but he said all the right things and handled it very well.
Thanks, Alan. Brendan Quinn, good morning. Floor is yours. Brendan, are you there?
Yep, you guys got me?
Got you. We're ready to go.
Yeah, this question's for Jordan. About a year ago at this time, you were kind of hovering around 70th in the world. And, going into March, you were in the 20s in the Ryder Cup standings. And I just wonder, on your climb kind of back, where this was in your kind of picture of what you wanted to get back to, of making this team. Where did that kind of rank among the things you were looking to get to?
I would say it was probably the second loftiest goal I set for myself this year, with the first being trying to make the Olympic team, just because that one was going to be even harder. Given there's only 4 spots, you got to be top 15 in the world, that kind of stuff. But I think it kind of came onto my radar after the Masters this year. I finished 3rd there, and the majors are obviously highly weighted, and that was a big boost for me. And then from there, just carry the momentum into the big events and, kind of reset some goals, and with the Ryder Cup being the ultimate one at the end of the season. So it probably wasn't until April till I thought I've got a good chance of making the team, probably via pick, given there's only 6 spots, and unless you've won a major or players in the last couple of years, it's very difficult to make that top 6. So I would say from April on, it became something on the forefront of my mind as I went into tournaments. And I thought, after the Open Championship, that it was probably going to become a reality, and that was super exciting. And so when I got the call from Strick a couple of days ago, that was kind of a goal for this year. And it's always, every couple of years, it's typically a top or the top goal on my list.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Up next, Dave Sabloski. Good morning, Dave. Mr. Shedlowski, are you with us?
Yes, I am. And Brendan just really asked my question about Jordan and his goals for the year. So I didn't lower my hand in time, but congratulations to all 6 of you. And Steve, we'll look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, Dave.
Always good hearing your voice, Dave. How about we go to Brian Taylor? Brian, are you with us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Very good, yes.
Good, thank you. This is for Tony and Jordan. It's been 3 years since Paris. Being on the wrong side of this has to eat at you. I wonder, how does that weigh on you, and how hard is it to have to wait this long for another chance at it?
Tony, do you want to take that question first?
Yeah, so I was with Jordan. We were standing on the green, watching him celebrate in 18. I'm sure he remembers that, and it's never a good feeling losing, and especially them having their home crowd behind them and cheering for them and things. So I remember that vividly, and at that time, I made it a goal to try and make this team so I can kind of return the favor. So I'm happy to be a part of this squad, just to have that opportunity to play in front of our home crowd and hopefully bring the cup back to the USA. So it was a kind of a salty feeling watching them celebrate right there on the green right in front of us. But we have the opportunity to kind of return the favor this year, and hopefully we're able to do that with this squad.
Thank you, Tony. Jordan, your thoughts on Paris?
Yeah, as Tony mentioned, it was awful on that green. I don't know of many sporting events where you have to stand there and afterwards and watch after you've lost. And I've done it twice now in Glen Eagles and then in Paris, and then been able to be on the good side of it as well. So it's a very defeating feeling. You just have to stand there and watch it. And then you're kind of just want to go back to your team room and decompress. So it's one of those where I remember, walking off that green thinking, let's not go through this again. It was way more fun in 2016. So glad to be back on home soil. They feel very different, the away games and the home games. And I think between Strick and the vice captains he's chosen should leave a real lightness to our team room and a nice new younger contingency of players that, and as you mentioned, with the success of rookies in this event, I just can't stress enough how little that means in this event for success. So I've been a rookie and had success in the event, and all these guys have contended in the biggest tournaments in the world and won the biggest tournaments in the world. And I think they're going to have a blast, and really hope to be on that 2016 side of things where Phil Mickelson's pouring champagne in your mouth while you're getting to celebrate with all the American fans.
Well said, Jordan. Up next, Jeff Babano. Jeff?
Hi, this one was for Jordan. You paired with Strick in the President's Cup. You played for him. I'm just curious if you can give us an example of two of his intensity in that type of setting.
There's no fakeness to Steve Stricker. What you see now and every time you've talked to him is who he is. He carried me big time the first 9 holes of that President's Cup. He'll probably throw that off, but he put me on his back. I had a couple water balls and a chunk 6-iron, and he kind of put his hand around and said, "I got you until, just settle in. You're good. No worries." And he was the father influence for me on the course, even though we were teammates, and then, being able to play for him as well. No different. When he comes up, and he's just got a lot of wisdom. He's seen a lot in this game. He's experienced pretty much everything this game has to offer. And so you trust what he has to say. And he says it with such a lightness and with such influence that it kind of takes a lot of the stress away. That's how it felt as a player and as a teammate. And that's how it's felt as a player for him.
And a quick one for Strick, if I could. Foursomes is such a different format. How do you get a team ready for it? And can you give us your general thoughts on, do you like games together, personalities together? What do you do there?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both, Jeff. You got to make sure these each player's games complement each other. You even go as far as, getting stats on which guy hits off the odd or the even holes when we put a pairing together. And that's kind of the stuff we're going to start talking about now amongst these 12 players and the assistant captains, is coming up with a good game plan as far as pairings go. And, who are the best 4 teams of foursomes that you can put out there first thing on Friday morning. So that's what we'll try to do. And during our practice sessions here, we'll put guys together and then rely on them to tell us how comfortable they are in those situations. So it's a lot about, for me, communication has always been a big part of these teams, and hearing from them and then talking to your assistants and making sure everybody's comfortable and no curveballs. I don't want to throw any curveballs at these guys. I want them to know exactly where we're coming from and what we expect out of them going forward.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeff. We've got about 8 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of phones to get to, so we'll try to get as many as we can. Rex Hoggard, you're up next. Good morning, Rex. Tell you what, Rex, we'll try to get back to you. We'll try to leave Rex's Zoom for Doug Ferguson. Doug, are you there?
Maybe. Xander, had a question for you. When you said that it was a good time for a younger influx of players, what leads you to say that?
I look around and I think there's Jordan, JT, Bug. Those are kids that I played against in high school. So I think Stricker kind of said it. It's not we need veterans. Veterans will lead us, but I'm not trying to knock on any veteran, but I just think, like Stricker said, the game's getting younger. Tiger Woods is to blame, but kids are getting better and better every year. I feel like I'm an old guy on tour now. I'm turning 28 pretty soon, and I feel like I'm one of the older guys. We got Colin on our team who's, 23 or 4 maybe. And kids keep getting better and better at younger ages. So I just felt like, it was a good time for, a younger influx based on that.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, Doug. Rob Hernandez, are you there, Rob?
I am. Hey, this is for Steve. Steve, I read where you surveyed some of these guys, and what did you learn that you didn't already know, especially about the 6 guys you announced here today? And did you learn anything that went into this decision that you announced today?
Yeah, you're always learning when you're talking to these guys. I think ultimately I just wanted to have, are you talking about the 6 guys that already made it?
No, the 6 guys
when I talked to them
that you announced. Anything in the surveys to them that you saw that kind of cemented your decision to go with these guys?
Oh yeah, just the way these guys play the game. I mean, they're all very impressive in their own right. And we leaned on, we knew a couple of these guys were going to be picks early on, just from their type of, or the way they've been playing. Guys, they finished, 7th or 8th on the list. We knew they were going to be picked. So I even leaned on them to kind of round out the team. I want these guys to be invested. I want these guys to be invested in this team. And I kind of learned that from Paul Azinger back in 2008. He kind of did a similar thing, and he wanted to know our feelings about other players. Ultimately, it's my decision. That lays with me, but I want all the information I can possibly get to make those decisions. And we did. We used it all from the top 6 players. These guys are, with us today to make kind of the final couple picks. So it was definitely a team effort, I think. And these guys are, like I said, totally vested in this process. And I'm excited. I'm truly excited about how this team is made up and composed of a good mix of young guys with veterans and the type of players that fit this course perfectly, I think.
Looks like we have about 4 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. Shane Ryan, you're up. Shane, go ahead.
Hey, Steve. I wanted to ask how big a role Scouts Consulting played in these captain's picks, and then further in the course setup and in the pairings.
Yeah, we rely on scouts. I'm kind of old school a little bit. I'm trying to feel like stats have a place in part, an important place in our Ryder Cup selections and pairings and all that. So I struggle with that personally myself. There's other assistant captains that kind of help me along with that feel like it's more important, less important. We got a good mix of guys that way. But we looked at all that. We looked at their stats. We looked at how pairings going forward could be made with these 6 guys that we picked today. We look at it all. We have long conversations with my assistant captains, trying to make sure that we're going to do the right thing and pick the right guys. So we use all of it, to tell you the truth, and a lot of it is gut feeling as well. I know a lot of these guys. I know what they bring to the table. I know what they stand for and how they want to be a part of this team in a big way. And I know how they're going to act. And I think that's a big deal and big part of it as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Julius.
You're welcome. We've got time for 2 more questions. We'll take one virtual and we'll end it with one here at Whistling Straits. So Bob Hare, go ahead. Bob, are you with us?
I am. Thanks, Julius. My question's for Jordan. You've been through this a couple of times now already. Just curious how important you feel those practice rounds are this weekend. It's not really always been very practical for you guys to get to a Ryder Cup venue in advance. So now you have that opportunity, and you having played there and done well, what do you make of that?
Well, we did it. We actually were able to do it in Paris too. Oddly enough, on the way to, I think, the Open Championship, a number of guys were able to, but we did it back in 2016 at Hazeltine as well. And it's, I don't see us putting whole locations necessarily in. I think it's more camaraderie, seeing the golf course, understanding maybe what we need to go that next week and work on a little bit to tighten up for that golf course specifically. And then just being in the room together, being on the course together, having dinner, laughing, just kind of knocking out maybe some of the early nerves of being on property, recognizing, how great the event is. And, sometimes it's nice to just kind of, we arrive then the next week and feel maybe just a little bit more prepared, like, hey, we were just here. So I think there's a lot of intangibles. I don't see us really going into massive practice round detail. I think we'll do that a lot more the week of when the course is more in the condition that we'll see it starting Friday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. And our final question here at Whistling Straits on mic number 2, please.
Hi, Steve. Vince from TMJ4 in Milwaukee. Just piggybacking off of your comments about the Kohler family, what these properties have meant to golf in Wisconsin. I mean, there are guys out there right now walking out to play Whistling Straits. A couple weeks before this global event, how special is it to have an event like this at a public golf course that people from anywhere can come and play?
Yeah, it's very special. And it's special because, I was born and raised in Wisconsin. It's special for my family. It's special for the Kohlers. I know. It's just something I personally thought would never happen in my lifetime, is to have a golf event of this magnitude, the biggest golf event in the world, held here in Wisconsin at Herb's place. And it's just it's really cool. I mean, Wisconsin has become a golf destination, and it's hard to believe that, because we were in snow, 5 or 6 months out of the year. So, but no matter where I go and play, people talk to me about Whistling Straits, Black Wolf Run, Kohler, Wisconsin. So it's really cool to see, and it's cool for the people to be able to come out here and experience that, and experience it probably the last month or so with all the stands going up, and to have that experience. I know my girls came up here and played and thought it was just the coolest experience, because of, they're teeing off in the stand area there, and they're going around and seeing all the work that's been done for this event. So it's just a special time for Wisconsin golf, and a special time for all of us associated with Herb and his family and Wisconsin.
Captain, we are just 16 days away from the first ball being struck at the 43rd Ryder Cup. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, let's get her going, right? I mean, it's been long enough. It's about time, and we're all excited to be just have this event a couple weeks right around the corner, and now the fun starts. We get to be with these guys a little bit more and get that ball rolling. But yeah, it's ready. I'm sure everybody else is ready, and so much looking forward to that first tee ball on Friday morning.
Captain, well done. Thank you very much. Captain's picks, if you wouldn't mind remaining on the line so we can get a photograph with you six and the captain before you hang up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. And as you exit the room, if you could please exit quietly, because the captain has to remain for a number of one-on-one interviews that he has to conduct. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.